KWS has a mandate, and KWS mandate is to protect wildlife as well as human and their property. There is a constitutional requirement that KWS should not only manage wildlife and human-wildlife relationship, but also compensate for the loss of livestock as well as the loss of life. Balala was here last year, I believe it was last year, but last year actually, and he made an assertion that KWS has paid more, or the Ministry of Tourism has paid, Tourism and Wildlife has paid about 17 million to wildlife victims. And I just released the names of 62 people here who are still waiting for their claims to be paid by the KWS. The question is, if actually the loss of life compensation, the cost of what KWS pays for a life lost is 5 million. And I said earlier on, we've lost more than, in the last 1 year, more than 10 people here. How many people are going to be compensated with 17 million? It is really an insult on our intelligence as a community. It is an underestimation of the lives of these human beings and our livestock. And I think that that money that is budgeted every single year for wildlife compensation, Balala and KWS must tell us where that money goes to, or who receives that money, because it's not being received here. Is it coast? Is it central? Is it other parts of Rift Valley? I have no idea. But this community here that pays the biggest price in wildlife conservation has seen nothing. Zero. There's no money that has been received here. And this is just a small group of people here that decided to come today to challenge yesterday's statements made by the director of, or deputy director of KWS here in Narok, to the effect that they attend to human-wildlife conflict promptly within 24 hours. How many people have ever seen KWS come here within 24 hours after the attack? Have you ever seen?
No.
They don't come here. We don't see them. And then the application process for compensation is a system that was very clearly designed to frustrate people to give up. It's not meant, the process is not meant to actually facilitate the payment or the award of those funds for compensation. It is a very tedious, very long process that even an ordinary person, like these ones, would never even be able to go halfway through that process. People give up immediately. They're attacked, they go to the hospital, they struggle to pay their bills, and that's it. Because in this process, you are supposed to produce so many documents, a chief's letter, a P3, you are supposed to report to the police, you get an OB, they are supposed to come and assess the site, where the attack happened. They are to assess the injuries or the loss, but you never see them. You never see them. So how do you effect a payment that you don't know, that you haven't actually followed through the process to ascertain the legitimacy? Hao watu wanajaribu hiyo process, wanaenda kidogo, wana give up, because the process is not meant to compensate people. It's meant to discourage people to give up, and so they can steal the money or do whatever they want with it. And I'm making a very special appeal to the president, that there are so many institutions in this nation that are doing incredible work. They are very wonderful institutions in this country, government institutions that are doing incredible work, and we applaud them. But KWS has outlived its usefulness. It is like every process in life comes to an end. And I think that the life of Kenya Wildlife Service has come to an end. Just like the life of the Kenya Wildlife Management, Conservation and Management Department came to an end, giving way to the creation of Kenya Wildlife Service. KWS life has come to an end. It must be overhauled, or it must be disbanded. I think it must be disbanded, so that we can come up with a new entity that can spearhead true and genuine and sustainable conservation of wildlife in this country. Otherwise, as far as this community's position is concerned right now, we do not recognize KWS. We shall not work with them. We shall not give them any information. We will deal with poachers ourselves. If we see poachers, we will not talk with KWS. We will work with the county government, but not KWS. KWS has no room in this community until they realize that we are human beings, we have feelings, we care about our people's lives, we care about the well-being of our property, and KWS cannot come here to keep frustrating and traumatizing our community for a job that they are not doing. They are purporting to do conservation. What conservation are they doing? They are here to traumatize this community, to frustrate them, and then extort even, money in some instances. And then in the end, you don't get compensated. So we are done with KWS. We also have to announce here that we are going to court. This is not the end of it. We will be seeing KWS in court very soon. And we are going to argue our case before a court of law. Why these people have not been compensated. From 2014 up to now is how many years? 7. It's 7 years. Some people, his case is 2014. And they were talking yesterday about processing the compensation within the shortest time possible. 7 years is not the shortest time possible. It is a deliberate refusal to pay people their dues, what they should be getting for the compensation arising from wildlife attacks. So we are here to say we are going to court. This is not the end of it. If there is any legislation or any law that allows citizens to petition for the disbursement of any public organization, we are going to petition for the disbandment of Kenya Wildlife Service. We are not ending here. It is a beginning of a long-drawn battle with KWS. That is our position as a community. This community has leaders, and I want to call on Maasai leadership throughout the country to work with us. We want to draft legislation, and we want to hand it over to our members of parliament so that they can actually take this bill to parliament to seek the disbursement of Kenya Wildlife Service. Same case applies to communities living in wildlife areas. I think they go through the same suffering as the Maasai people. Only that the degree of suffering here is much higher than any other part of this country. And yesterday I was shocked. I think you also, the lions are not even on the list of animals that are killing people. Lions are not on the list of animals that KWS says are responsible for most of the attacks. They don't even list lions as animals that are as some of the animals that are responsible for all these damages, which tells you clearly they don't have interest. They don't have the interest of these people at heart.